Hey everyone, it's Ashley Jones, Event Director at Marketing Showcase. Thanks for watching one of our recordings from Marketing Showcase Online. I really hope you enjoy it, and hopefully I'll see you at another one soon. We're going to go into the question and answer. I'm going to give you a scenario. I'm the marketing executive of a manufacturing company, and I'm thinking about I think it'd be brilliant to put a face to our business and get some video content out there and really tell our story. However, the managing director of the business that I want to share the story is boring as anything. They don't want to be on camera. They're not a video person. They've never done it before. And it's a real struggle to even kick off this project. So what do I do?
Well, I would say, depending on your industry, it doesn't have to be the MD on screen at all. Put yourself in your customer's shoes. If I'm looking at, okay, let's take your manufacturing company. So if I'm looking at a company, I want to know that they can produce what I need, that the deliveries will be on time, that the pricing is right. What are the key messages, what are the key things they're going to be interested in? Who delivers that on camera? They don't care. They don't care if it's someone in the marketing team, someone in the sales team, someone in finance office. They just care that the messages are delivered succinctly, that it's delivered with confidence, that the information is coherent, and I get everything I need. So you don't need to have the MD on screen, especially if they're not confident, because that'll break your heart and theirs trying to get them to perform it. The only caveat to that I would say is if you're in a service-based industry. So for example, if you are a law firm, an accountancy firm, people do want to speak to and listen to the person they will be dealing with. So if you're a law firm and it's not the lawyer who's actually on camera, if it's the secretary because she happens to be really bubbly or he happens to be really bubbly, I would say that in that sense you do need to get the person who is the expert. They do need to be on camera. Now, another caveat, they don't need to be on screen all the time. This is where your B-roll footage comes in. So they can deliver their spoken piece and they might only be on screen for 20 seconds, and that's absolutely fine. And that's where your B-roll footage of them on the laptop, them on the phone, them speaking to a customer, them in the office, all of those lovely B-roll shots that illustrate what they're talking about. So they don't need to be speaking to camera all the time. So there's ways to run with it, no matter what the person's level of confidence is.
I'm muted. That's schoolboy. I'm gonna get to all the questions, but there's one here that I'm particularly interested in, so I'm going to ask this with priority so I can get the answer. I'm currently uploading video content to YouTube and then promoting it across socials, doing little trailers as well as blog posts.
Great.
But do you have any top tips for YouTube strategy? How often should I be posting? How do you leverage YouTube, Anna?
Yeah, so it really depends. What I would say is if you're able to post regularly, that's fantastic. But what you need to do is tag people and try and grow your audience. If you're just pushing it out there every day and you're getting a really small number of views, then just pushing out more content isn't necessarily going to change it. So you need to look at your keywording. You need to look at the topics that you're sharing video content on and make sure that those are of interest to your audience. So again, as I said, do your Google searches, do your Google Trends, and make sure your videos are responding to questions that people are actively answering. Make sure your videos are keyworded and tagged so that it is discoverable by the search engines, so that you're getting it in front of audiences that mightn't, as I said, know your company and be actively searching for that. If you're able to bring in other people into your videos, like customers, partners, and other people in the industry, and include them and then tag them when you're sharing, straight away that multiplies your reach, vastly. Make sure you the right hashtag so that you're being able to interject your content into the conversation. So if you're putting it up on YouTube and then you're sharing with the right hashtags on LinkedIn and on Facebook and Twitter, it's automatically going to appear to new people who wouldn't have otherwise looked for it. So there's lots of different things you can do, but I would say the first and most crucial thing is if the content you're sharing, it needs to be of really good quality value to the customer you're trying to reach. That's the first thing.
And Lindsay, I'd say also top tip, get 20 minutes with Anna. She can go through it with you in great detail. And a few people in the chat have said, how do I get the 20 minutes? There should be a poll. I've still got it running unless you've closed it to just answer and say, get 20 minutes with Anna. So if you want to do that, anyone in the chat that hasn't done so already, please do. Let's crack on with more of these questions. I think we can kill two birds with one stone with this because we've got two people that have asked the same thing really. I'm going to read it word for word though. I'm in two minds. Do I attempt to shoot videos myself using my iPhone XR and edit using iMovie, or do I pay a professional to come in and pay? My skills are basic, but I'm keen to learn. The videos will be Q&A interviews of employees, so fairly easy to film. So yeah, do it yourself, start off, try it, maybe risk the quality and learn as you go along, or do you just go straight in and say, no, this needs to be done by a professional?
Okay, so I mean, obviously I'm biased. Go and have a look at Video Sherpa. That's what we're all about. Leaving that aside, I would say there's two things. You might have one or two videos a year that it really is worthwhile investing in getting a videographer in to produce, and you want to make sure that it is just absolutely fabulous quality, and it's worthwhile. You need regular content throughout the year, though. You cannot afford to keep bringing someone in. The quality of the camera in the iPhone XR, it's actually what I have. That's what I film everything on. The quality is perfect. Get yourself a very simple to use tripod. Make sure everything is nice and stable. Invest in a lavalier mic so the audio quality is really, really good. All of that kit will cost you less than £200. It will elevate the quality of what you're doing instantly. So definitely do not start filming with, shaky camera roll. There's no need for it. There's very, very simple ways to stabilize. Watch some videos on YouTube about framing and lighting. There are, again, very simple things that you can do to make your videos look better. We have some video tutorials on the 5-shot rule, which is simple ways to get lovely B-roll footage. That's very, very easy. If you are hiring somebody, this would be my one piece of advice. Ask in the quote that you get access to all of the footage, all of the original footage, as well as the finished video. Upload that to a drive so that you have it and you can repurpose that B-roll footage yourself in other videos. It's the B-roll footage that is going to make or break your life and drive you crazy. When you're creating videos on an ongoing basis, you need to have your own library of original B-roll content that you can dip in and out of and use in different ways in different videos. If you have to start from scratch with every single video, it's going to take you too long. You're going to lose faith and you're not going to do as much video as you need. So having access to that is the critical thing. If you are going to hire someone, ask them for that access. They might want to give it to you. You might have to pay a little bit extra to have it because that's their kind of bread and butter. But ask for it in the first place. And if you're going to do it yourself, get those simple tools that make sure it looks stable, the sound quality is excellent. Look at some YouTube videos in terms of framing, backgrounds, lighting, and sound. Simple things will make your videos look an awful lot better. And then obviously look at Video Sherpa because we help you do it even better again.
I posted the link to Video Sherpa in there. Don't worry, I've got your back, Anna. We've got a few. We're going to do quick fire for these last few because we've gone over by a couple of minutes. But hopefully, Anna, you just got a few minutes just to answer these ones.
Sure.
You kind of probably covered this one, but just shortly speaking, where should I post videos? Video or native on social or both?
So native on social, obviously, it's what they prefer. So it's going to go further. Linking from YouTube. There is a great little tool called Cloud HQ, which is a Gmail plugin. And if you put your videos up on YouTube, you can then link from Google HQ to your YouTube and embed a video in an email so that somebody can watch it when they open up the email. There it is. They can play it straight away. Very, very effective. Sorry, what was the native or
YouTube?
YouTube, yeah. So there's pros and cons for both. Obviously, like Facebook and Instagram, it'll go further if it's uploaded natively onto those channels. For sharing with things like if you use MailChimp to do your email campaigns, you can't embed an email. You're going to have to put it up on YouTube first and then use that to share it out. So there's case for both. It's not a one or the other, it's both.
Yeah, and I think it's scenario based. You said really nicely there. If you're going to do it, if you want that video for social, put it on social. But if you need it in an email, you need to use something like YouTube to host that.
Yeah, and actually, if you're looking at YouTube, obviously YouTube is a great search engine, so there's a lot of value to having it there. I would also look at Vimeo. Vimeo is another hosting channel without the advertising. So, depending on your industry, you might prefer to share it on Vimeo. Especially if it's going out to a certain kind of caliber of client, you don't want them opening up YouTube and getting sucked into the warren of other YouTube videos that's going to drag their attention away.
So Anna, Tim's asked then, any tips on choice of video player with the new Google updates coming in May in terms of page experience? So I'm thinking he's speaking about embedding your videos on your website.
Yeah.
Is there any sort of insight, or is there any preference in terms of the new Google updates and how it displays on your page? And do you have any advice for that?
I mean, Google, YouTube, they're the same company essentially. They want you to use YouTube. YouTube itself is the second biggest search engine in the world. I mean, not having your content on YouTube isn't really an option. It's where else you put it, I would say. So there's also so many easy plugins for you to be able to share it from YouTube. So I would say YouTube is almost your default, and then it's where else are you going to put it and where else are you going to play. But I mean, so anyone who wants to use video strategically and doesn't have a YouTube channel, I think you're missing out straight away, because people are looking for it, and we all do it. We YouTube it now, so it's become a verb. So if you're not there, you're going to be harder to find, basically. So you're shooting yourself in the foot.
Last question. Is voiceover good enough, or should I always shoot interviews? And I think you covered this slightly in terms of your B-roll point, but just to reiterate, one of our attendees has asked that question.
Yeah, so I think it's disconcerting to have only voiceover. Obviously, with COVID and everything, needs must, and people have been able to do just voiceover with B-roll footage and get some content out there. That's fine. Normally, you want to see the person at least once speaking. You're giving them context, they understand who it is they're listening to, and then it can be predominantly B-roll. So if you're dealing with somebody who's nervous on camera, that's the way to get around it. They just have to deliver the start, looking down the barrel of the lens with confidence, and then they can read the rest of it if they want. Absolutely fine. But I find it a little bit disconcerting, and I think the point is you're trying to connect with somebody personally. There has to be that human connection. So if there is no human, if it's this ethereal voice, it's not as effective, I think.
Hi everyone, thanks for watching another recording from Marketing Showcase Online. I hope you enjoyed it. Just to let you know, we've got all of the recordings uploaded to our brand new YouTube channel, so go over there and check it out if you want some more great content. We run these events once every month, free of charge, so head over to our website to grab tickets for next month's event. I look forward to seeing you there.